I'm John Caserta. Thank you, Common Cause Rhode Island, for the invitation to talk about reimagining elections. It would be presumptuous of me to think in this short amount of time that I would have solutions to these big and small problems that have been posed in the last week, but I do have some ideas to share. According to the pre-event survey, the average voting experience was kind of average, 6.5 out of 10. And although there's a lot of attention put on registration ballots and voting, I would argue that cultivating knowledgeable and engaged citizens is where the big election leaps are going to occur. Only 4 out of 10 who responded in the survey felt as though they mattered to their community. Most people want to be active and engaged citizens. Where do we get a chance to face each other outside of the modes of commerce? Marina Abramovich is an artist who sat in the lobby of the Museum of Modern Art and looked at thousands of people's faces. She talks about the enormous need of humans to have contact with each other, and that we're very alienated, particularly with the devices of today. Society has made us distant. Fields of study in thick democracy and participatory democracy provide some opportunities to connect. Brown professor Bonnie Honig goes into detail about the necessity and value of shared spaces and public things. Sharing requires exchange, allows for exchange, deliberation, and compromise, and it is through sharing that we will rebuild trust in each other and government by extension. Could empty businesses, larger bus stops, plazas, bike lanes and bike parking, edges of parking lots and vacant lots not be put to use to house these shared experiences and public things? The community gardens, micro parks, tree canopies, seating areas, chess game tables, exercise venues, creative activities, and pop-up events that would help knit communities together again. A pop-up election event could connect poll workers, to Alex Taylor's point about needing to get poll workers together in advance, with community members and government staff to tease out interest from residents and reach the disenfranchised. Voters could ask current officials what they're doing, and officials could ask voters what they should spend their priorities on. I organized a block party 2 years ago and invited government officials, and it served a similar purpose for a street. It was a ton of work for one person to do. So some more examples of this creative community placemaking. Work by the Rural Studio in southern Alabama. Detroit has created a lot of pocket parks in the wake of the 2008 financial crisis. And in Medellin, Colombia, there are library parks that offer leisure and social spaces for community activities, as well as the knowledge space of the library. There are Rhode Island organizations like Down City Design who can build sheds and garden structures and more. The mural making group Avenue Concept can help mark and locate the spaces. We are well positioned for creative community space building. On the ballot side of things, I would say short term, better fund, support the Secretary of State's efforts to accommodate voters with mail-in and early voting. Long term, I question the need for the state to provide a printed ballot to each voter. Ballots can be printed on demand by users or at public venues in advance of Election Day. If you can get a 4-foot-long receipt at CVS for a pack of gum, then why not be able to print a ballot on demand? This year, Los Angeles used touchscreens with paper printouts for 2 elections, and one was fairly successful. One highly used and successful touchscreen is the New York City subway ticket system. It's fast, has language choices, and results in a printed output, as well as being adjusted for routes and price changes. Since I am able to currently verify my registration status with Rhode Island online, could I not view, mark, and print my ballot from the same web page as well? The printout would have a unique number and my results in a scannable form. If the screen is the primary interface, then the text-only ballot could be expanded to include videos of candidates and links to a resume as well. Could you not actually record yourself and send that video along? Would it not motivate voters and candidates alike to see more than just a list of names? The ballot becomes part information center using video and transcribable text to connect to voters unaware of candidates. even a resume type thing could be visible. State legislators can also help the election process. Voting day should be a holiday, allow early voting up to 2 months ahead of time. And state legislators should also continue to work to weed out corruption in the elections process, including gerrymandering, and that party leaders currently get to mark their preferred candidates with an asterisk on primary ballots. Thank you for listening to my thoughts.